Reverend Jeremiah Wright is saying, is expressing this this sentiment. I think he's asking his congregation to consider it in all its powerful significance. So there you go. That's my opinion. I'm not in any way contradicting Barack Obama's opinion, but you know, he has his reasons for doing what he do, and I have my reasons for saying what I say, and never the twain shall meet. So that's all I wanted to say about that. And if we still have some time running, I did promise my friends that I would try to make preparation for my awful rendering of the Gettysburg Address earlier, and the Gettysburg Address was delivered in, I think, November of 1863, and it was Abraham Lincoln was invited as an afterthought to add a few words after the main speaker, who went on ad nauseum, and nobody can remember what he said. And he wrote this speech as he was taking the train to Gettysburg, which was the site of one of the bloodiest battles of the Civil War, which, by the way, Americans were allowed to basically fight themselves. You know, there were competing interests in Europe that had a great stake, and they might have influenced, you know, or had helped a little bit, but they certainly weren't over here getting in the middle of things, were they? No. Well, then there was no oil, but there was cotton, and Britain relied a great deal on cotton. Anyway, that was the bloodiest 3 days of the entire Civil War. 50,000 casualties in over out of 150,000 troops. That's 50,000 people maimed or dead in 3 days. So, and Abraham Lincoln came to Gettysburg and for the commemoration of this new cemetery, and he said these words, which I will hopefully say better than I did before. 67 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. It's altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here, have consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather, to be here dedicated to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be dedicated here to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion, that we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and the government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Thank you.